Latinos TV. As you know, Color Latinos TV is an information and educational program that brings to you very important topics. And today we are celebrating our 5th anniversary, and also we are celebrating the Breast Awareness Month nationally and actually globally. And because of that, we invite Holly Clegg, who is the author of the best-selling national healthy cookbooks. And Holly is actually from Texas, so this interview is being broadcasting via Skype. And Holly, we just want to welcome you to Colores Latinos TV.
Thank you, and happy anniversary to you. And this is actually my cancer book, 15-year anniversary. So we have something in common.
Excellent. So you are celebrating 15 years and we are celebrating 5. That's amazing. So, Holly, before we started the conversation about this great book, we have the book here, Eating Well During Cancer, and we are going to discuss about what is the context and how is this book can help us, not just us, but all of the family, especially when we have a cancer patient. But before we started to talk about the book, Holly, we want to know you a little bit more better. So who is Holly Clegg?
Holly Clegg loves to eat and loves to cook, but I also felt there's a correlation with what you eat and your health. And many years ago, I sort of was ahead of my time because I developed the Trim and Terrific Cookbook series in 1993 to show people you can have good food that's good for you. So I had my Trim and Terrific series, but then it came around, I met with an oncologist, and I started my Eating Well series, which is Eating Well Through Cancer. And what's different about this cancer cookbook, it's really designed while you're going through treatment. There was nothing out there like this. In fact, as I told you, I've always loved to cook and loved to eat. And an oncologist and a friend approached me and said the number one question he's asked most often is, what can you eat when you're going through treatment? And he said, would you like to write a book to help people? Honestly, Nancy, I said, no, I go on TV, I have fun, cancer isn't fun. And then, unfortunately, my father was diagnosed with larynx cancer, and it became very personal to me. So, of course, I started doing research, and there was nothing out there. What's different about this book is you can make all the recipes, you probably have all the ingredients on hand, and that has been what I've been about since day one. Easy recipes with available ingredients that taste good and are better for you.
Wow, what a story, Clegg. And from our heart, I know then this is a very hectic time for you and your family, and my heart and my prayers are with you. And thank you for sharing that. Your father was diagnosed with cancer a long time ago.
Yeah, and that was actually, like I said, the book is 15 years old. Daddy was diagnosed with 16 years ago, and he's fighting right now, but he's still around, talks with an artificial larynx. So the book is very personal. And of all my cookbooks, it makes such a difference in people's life because, cancer is crisis. People are diagnosed with cancer and they want to have something to do. Or if you're a friend, you want to help somebody. So what's great about this book, it gives you some control. But what you eat makes a difference. So it's important to eat properly when you're going through treatment. And probably one of your next questions would be is, as you see, the book is divided into different chapters.
Exactly. So that was my next question. And also I want to share with the audience here that this book has sold more than 1 million copies, right, Clegg?
Yeah. No, this book has been selling unbelievably. There's probably over 500,000 copies, or I've sold over 1 million books, and God knows how many of these have sold. But the book, there's nothing really out there like it, and that's why it's sustained itself over 15 years. I'm very excited with our anniversary. This is a new edition with some new recipes, but great information. When you go to the doctor's office when you're diagnosed with cancer, you sometimes think, what can I do? And you forget what you hear. Each of the chapters has so much good information from like day of chemo, neutropenia, diarrhea, constipation, healthy eating, high protein, and then just cancer prevention. It's so important that we eat healthy. But there's a lot of books out there that have all this weird stuff, and I'm about one-stop shopping. You probably have all the ingredients in your house because that's the number one comment I get.
Interested. So now we're going to learn more about the, perhaps not all of the chapters, but some of them, because I know that we have some time to discuss other issues here. But how about, can you start up talking about more about the day of chemotherapy? What is your recommendation to eat? Because I know that patients are very nervous and anxious having the first day of chemotherapy, and after they are thinking like, okay, so what is next? Can I eat my preferred food? Can I stop eating this? So that's a big question for all patients, Clegg. So how about if you tell us more about that, please?
Yeah, no, that's probably the most important chapter in the book because as time goes on, it is more difficult to eat. What I learned about this in writing the book, also including this chapter, is everybody has taste preferences. Nobody wants just plain chicken soup and jello. You think you're sick, you need something, but it is important that you have light meals, nothing too heavy. So let's say you just crave fried chicken. Well, if you eat fried chicken when you're going through chemo, it's disastrous. So you want lighter foods that are filled with protein. And, we do have a good chicken soup in the book, or I could flip through the pages, Waldorf salad, risotto, pancakes, chicken and dumplings, very light foods. And also you can see in here I include a grocery list to get you started. So in that section, there are lighter foods to eat that will be easier on your stomach. And a lot of times, I think I want to mention too, another important chapter is the snacks chapter in the book, because sometimes it's easier to eat smaller meals throughout the day rather than one big meal. So the snacks chapter has been very popular as well.
So, for example, I know that you're going to share some recipes soon, but before we go there, we have a lot of questions from people who watch our show. And the last time we have one of your colleagues, Chef Mueller, and she was given similar information in Spanish. I know that you are the co-author of that book also. But one of the questions people ask very often is, how about when we are having nausea? Like, how we can manage that, and especially when we don't have taste, because I know that after radiation or chemotherapy, patients can lose the taste in the mouth, so they are not really having that feeling that the food is salty or is sweet, so they can miss that feeling and sensation. So what is your recommendation about that?
Well, right. A lot of times, as we know, the taste changes, and sometimes you have that metallic taste in your mouth. And something you could do for that also is to use plastic utensils. It might sound silly, but that is sort of a good, it sometimes helps. And marinades or a lot of lemon, just to squeeze lemon on what you're eating, sometimes also helps the taste buds. What I have found that everybody's a little different, and what works for one person won't work for the next necessarily, but I have tons of suggestions throughout the book that'll help you get through this trying time. As the sore mouth sections are very important. Head and neck cancer is tough, and of course I experienced that with Daddy, and I tested all those recipes when he was going through treatment. The head for a sore mouth, and a lot of times when you're having radiation, you do get a sore mouth. So again, I think you'll find everyday foods that will appeal to the whole family. And Nancy, that's what's so important to me. Just because you have cancer, you do need to eat nourishing food. However, it should feed the whole family. So truly, you could take the word cancer off the cookbook, and you'll just find easy everyday recipes. But they're divided into the side effects. So while you're going through side effects, cancer, when you're going through cancer treatment, it's in flux, and it changes from what you're doing, from whatever kind of medication. Everybody has a different cancer, everybody has a different medication, everybody reacts differently, but the common denominator are the side effects. So if your mouth is sore, if you're going through chemo, if the medicine is making you need high fiber recipes, or you need high protein, you're fatigued, you could go to these individual chapters and look up, and hopefully it'll help you, when you're going through this challenging time.
Excellent, Holly. And I think that what you said right now is very important. And I know that just taking off the word cancer, still the book can help us to have a better eating in the entire family. And that's something that we discussed in the last interview with your colleague, asking, the question was like, how about the family members? Because when you become sick, all the family becomes sick, right? Because everybody is anxious, everybody's nervous, sad, etc. So I know that you already answered the question, but I would like to ask you again. For example, when we are having somebody in the house with cancer, the book, I know that everybody can eat those recipes, right? It doesn't have to be just the patient. So the patient doesn't feel isolated.
Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely. Yes, I think that's very important, and that's where I'm a little different than a lot of the authors out there. I can't stress enough. They're everyday recipes with everyday ingredients. They're affordable, one-stop shopping. I hate when people go, well, I guess I have to go to like a specialty grocery store to find your ingredients. No, you don't. You will find it at your big superstore, your favorite grocery store, wherever you shop. I also think what's important in this new edition, the anniversary edition of Eating Well Through Cancer, is I highlight diabetic recipes. There's so many people that with cancer that have diabetes, and really having diabetes, a diabetic diet is just the healthiest way to eat. So throughout the book, there's tons of recipes that, I'll find one. Like here, for instance, it just happened. Both of these, can you see, both have a little D by them?
Yes.
That means it's diabetic friendly. So if you need to look for diabetic recipes, which again is just the healthiest way to eat, they're all throughout the book also. So, in fact, I'm so excited to share both of these recipes with you today that I made, because they're actually two of my favorite that I make all year round.
Yes, I was actually following you, and I found the pages, a couple of pages, and you were showing. So I'm showing that to the audience also here, and I can notice that you have like a letter B, GF and yellow, and D and red. So that has some type of meaning, right? Like vegetable, or can you explain more, please?
It's gluten-free. The GF is gluten-free. So if you have a dietary needs, if it's gluten-free, diabetic, vegetarian, or if you want to freeze, I have a little snowflake even for that. What's interesting, Nancy? I use my cookbooks. I love to cook. I love to eat, as I told you. And I use my cookbook so I could be everybody out there using my books just like I am writing. Sort of an unusual situation.
Wonderful. So I know that you prepared some recipes for us today. So could you please let us know what do you have in the table? It looks fantastic, and I will be, I would like to be there to taste it, but I can't. So can you please explain what you prepared for us today, please?
Can you see it? Because I can't see you. This is just a chicken taco salad, and it's full of nourishment because I keep it easy. All my recipes have around 10 ingredients, 30-minute recipes. No matter if you don't feel well or you're too busy, this book is for you. And this is just with yellow rice, which gives it a little more substance. We have a can of black beans that you always want to rinse and drain because that reduces sodium. There's also a lot of good tips throughout the book, as well as doctor's notes and nutritional nuggets. Then you have your tomatoes full of lycopene, and the best invention ever was rotisserie chicken. Or if you have leftover chicken, you could use it. And then we have tomatoes, a little reduced fat cheese, and red onion. And then this is just the salsa vinaigrette I made. I take your favorite jars. Can you see this? A favorite jar of salsa, a little cumin, chili powder, and a little olive oil, and you can toss it together. Now, I have a confession. I think I chose this recipe. It's from the snack section. This is my snack mix because I wanted it. In fact, I never want to make it because it's addictive. I can never quit eating. It's that sweet and salty. It's just, again, very simple. I threw it on. It's a great snack. You can take it with you when you're going through treatments. If you need a little something to munch on, you could leave the M&Ms out. Or I'll tell you what's fun. Use festive colors. M&Ms come in different, from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Easter to Christmas, and you could, make this as fun and festive as you want. But it's just little pretzels, little honey checks, and you just have a mixture of honey, soy sauce, sesame oil, and just you mix it all together, bake it in the oven, and it is done. It is one of my favorite recipes all the time.
You are fantastic. We are here with my colleague Steve, looking at that salad and the food that you presented, and it looks fantastic. And you are very enthusiastic, so I like your energy because, and also I can see that energy is placed in the book. So people who want, to have that energy, not just for the food, but for the book, that energy that Holly placed in this book, you can have this book and those wonderful recipes that she is presenting today. I have a couple more questions. It's incredible, but the time is running really fast as usual. I would like to ask you, for example, when we have patients and they're having radiation or chemotherapy, and unfortunately, they can have diarrhea. So what they can eat during that period, and it's really hectic time for them, what they can eat during the diarrhea or maybe constipation.
Absolutely. Those are two important things because a lot of the medicines sometimes give you side effects with those as well. And in the diarrhea section, there is recipes that, of course, there's information that tells you how to start, what you want to drink, and you want to get plenty of fluids. But as you start putting food back into your diet, there's, more blander chicken recipes. One of my favorite banana bread recipes that's made with Bisquick is great. The brat diet is always important. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. But it has light recipes that will be soothing on your stomach. And I think you just hit it perfectly, Nancy. What's important is, maybe this snack mix, it could go in any chapter, but we have it in snacks. Maybe something like, I think there's a baked chicken recipe, which is fabulous. It's just like home-style chicken. It's in the diarrhea section, but it really could go in day of chemo because it's light. But they, recipes have a purpose and they're in each chapter that'll help you when you are experiencing whatever side effect it is. You could turn to that chapter and, it'll be easier on your stomach if you eat from whatever your reason is at the time.
So, actually, we would like also to ask you how this book impact the community in general, because this is a fantastic information, especially the help is not just for the cancer patients or the cancer community, but for diabetic people and the whole family. So what do you think is the impact of this book still today and your 15th anniversary?
Well, it's obviously been the most rewarding book I've ever written. I have a series of terrific books that are very mainstream. And then I have my Eating Well books, which is, I also have an arthritis cookbook. But there's nothing like this cancer book. It helps people during a challenging time. And I've listened to what people wanted, what they needed. And the book is written for you out there, all of you that have cancer. I mean, I think the stats are breast cancer is the second leading cause of death in women, and 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's why we're wearing pink. We're going to try to make a difference. And no matter what type of cancer you have, this book will help you get through this challenging time. It also helps you get back control. People want to do something for themselves, and eating is important. So it gives you control back to what you can do. And it's a wonderful resource of information. I get told that as well. It has been one of the top-selling cancer books for 15 years, and that's because my heart is written in it. I've tested each and every recipe. I feel like I know that I can help you through this. Also, I have a caregiver chapter. When you're a caregiver, which I'm seeing now with my father helping my mother, it's tough. I mean, in fact, Daddy keeps saying, I want chocolate cake, Holly, and I'm making it for him. But as a caregiver, you want to do something to help. So there's some great recipes that you could take over. I think something like that. So the book, how has it impacted the community? It's given you control. It's been able you to eat healthy. The diabetic recipes are fabulous. Your favorites will be in there. And just because you have cancer doesn't mean you can't enjoy food. Just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you can't enjoy food. My goal is to hold everyone's hand out there and take them through this journey and eat nutritiously. It's important for you to stay healthy because that keeps you strong as well.
The other question I have for you is we are almost closing the show right now. We are finishing the interview. As you can see, the time is flying, but it's amazing. It's a wonderful interview. And I can tell that you really care. You really, really care about not just the recipes, but you take care also the family and also the caregivers, because sometimes we forget about the caregivers, especially when we are being sick. The whole family is so stressful about taking care of the patient, but as a caregivers, we have to take care of ourselves. So I can see that you definitely cover everything. You cover food, you cover the taste, you cover even the type of recipes. We can have like American food, we can have like a Cuban or Latino food taste. So I can see that, and you were very mindfulness to cover all those components that are very important for each family. So I just want to congratulate you and your 15th anniversary also, because you are doing such a wonderful job and sharing this information, which is very important, not just for cancer patients or not just for diabetic, but we can use this book to eat better to reduce the risk of cancer, right, Holly?
Yes, it's cancer prevention. Also, I just read something that if you cook at home, you can reduce diabetes by 15%. There is a correlation with what we eat and our health, but as I told you, I like food and I'm enjoying it. So I make it possible for you out there to enjoy food, no matter if you're suffering from some kind of disease or you just want to, prevent any disease from happening. They're all easy 30-minute recipes, and most of them are about 10 ingredients. As I said, whether you don't feel like cooking or you're too busy to cook.
Thank you so much. So actually we are right now ending the interview, and I would like to ask you where people can find more information about you and the book. And I just want to add that we are director, distributor for the book also here in Massachusetts. So you can contact us via Colores Latinos TV or directly with Holly. So Holly, could you please share your information where people can get this book?
Yeah. No, you can get the book online. Amazon, anywhere has it. Bookstores have the book. And if you'd like an autographed copy, I'll tell you what I'll do, Nancy. I'll put a code. We'll put, why don't we put Nancy25? And if you enter in Nancy25, you can get 25% off the cookbook. And you can find it on my website, which is thehealthycookingblog.com, thehealthycookingblog.com, or you can find it through hollyclegg.com. So you can find the book in your bookstores, on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, wherever you shop. Or if you need an autographed copy or would like one or to give for a gift, you can even buy it directly from my website store and put Nancy25 for 25% off. But most importantly, you have to use my book or I come steal it back.
Thank you, Holly. And I also want to thank Holly and Chef Mueller, because we have her in the past on behalf of the community of Guatemala, because Holly and Chef Mueller donate some books for low-income cancer patients in Guatemala, and they are receiving those books actually this week. So I just want to thank all your support for those patients, even internationally. So thank you so much, Holly. And the last thing is, if people want to find more information about you, not just the book, but other books that you have, they can visit you on your website, right?
Oh, yeah. And I have tons of recipes on my website for you to sample and try. So I hope to see you on your website. Join me on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you want, and I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for including me, Nancy. I appreciate for you to be able to spread the word because it is a challenging time, and I do hope my book can make a difference for those that need it or use it as cancer prevention and cancer survival.
Thank you, Holly. It was a pleasure to have you here in Colores Latinos TV. And well, we just want to thank you and your home because you are also open your door for this show for the last 5 years. So we just want to thank you again for your support and your trust. If you want to watch this interview, you can visit us and YouTube, Colores Latinos TV. You can also write us at coloreslatinostv@yahoo.com or visit our website, www.cltvs.com. Thank you so much, and we are coming soon.
Vamos, Juan, tu asignación.
Ya saben, solo comida enlatada.
Si al mundo tú quieres cambiar,
Haz lo que quieres realizar. El corazón lo hay que dar. Ya es hora de empezar. Necesitamos el amor.
Gracias.
Sí, el amor. Abre el corazón. Un poquito de amor. Sí, de amor, amor. Necesitamos